The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Crime, murderers, simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como yé. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Once again, welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and everybody ought to know by now, I'm a member of the local Catholic Christian community. I welcome each and every one of you who is joining me and has already joined me. Well, folks, today I am going to play Fire Investigator. And my assignment is to determine who caused the fire on the city dump. You would recall that I told you that I worked from Bahama on Saturday and Sunday, respectively, and there was no smoke and or contamination from the city dump. But by yesterday, that's Monday, winds having changed, Cable Beach and the entire island came under some serious toxic attacks. I have an idea as to who is responsible for this environmental disaster, and I shall play Fire Investigator, and I'll tell you who are the culprits. I have the scientific evidence, and it is easily verifiable. So we're going to talk about that, and then, of course, I'm going to give you the foolish arguments of a lying attorney general. It was pathetic to read what the Honorable Carl Wilshire Battle had to say in the Nassau Guardian. It is like if Carl is punch drunk. I'm beginning to believe that the fire at the city dump might be having an effect on him. Carl, stop sniffing the smoke from the city dump, for I know that you live in the White Grove. So that's one of the things we shall be talking about. And then, of course, we'll talk about how I told you on Friday when I discussed the conviction and penalty of the Barrett man from Freeport. I told the young people they better get rid of the gun because the United States government, they know what is taking place and that they were now going to support the police. I told you. That was Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, and early Monday morning. We now know what the news are. So we look at that, and I shall tell you how I got my intelligence. Because I see things, I hear things, and I know things. So we'll be talking about those issues as well. Because there have been many Negroes who have said that they did not want foreign agents and or police participating in local policing, but we saw with the assistance of the police force of the U.S., 30 Negroes are reportedly in custody. We'll talk about that when I return on Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV, cable channel 224. And of course, you can also join me on BTC Flow 112. You can also go to iltvstudios.com, where we are streaming. In addition to that, you can join me on ILTV Studio Facebook page. Well, folks, once again, I welcome you to Freedom March. And in addition to welcoming you to Freedom March, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Cleo Grant. Mrs. Grant, I have discovered today from your husband, Mr. Leroy Grant, that you are one of the woman there. And I thank God when men boldly approach me and tell me that their wives are one of the woman there. And then, of course, my first cousin, John Cox of Market Street. Today is his birthday. John was born the 30th of January, 1960. If you see my first cousin, John Cox of Market Street, please tell him that I send a warm happy birthday greetings to him. Well, folks, the fire at the city dump, it calls for investigation. So I'm going to play Fire Investigator. You know, I'm not a fire investigator. It is like how I play journalist. You know, I'm not a journalist, but I'm able to show, because of the incompetence of these young journalists and other professionals, I'm able to play and outdo them. So today, I'm going undercover. I'm on the city dump now. We're just playing it so that we can determine how did the fire start. What happens when the office of the Prime Minister doesn't think things through? What happens when the office of the Prime Minister does not plan a project properly? What happens when the office of the Prime Minister spearheads a cleanup campaign in Bainstown and Grantstown? You get the dump catching fire again, despite all the rain we've had this month. The last dump fire, last March, was because of excessive dumping after Hurricane Matthew. Freedom March lays the charge against Minnis that this present dump fire is due to excessive dumping by the cleanup campaign organized by the office of the Prime Minister. This is the result of the cleanup campaign that Minnis is bragging about. But all he is doing is toting decades-old rotten garbage from the inner city to the outer city. That is all that has been done. He is toting the garbage from Bainstown and Grantstown to McKinney Drive and Jubilee Gardens, and is smoking up the whole western part of the island, creating a critical danger to the health of tens of thousands of Bahamians and visitors. The dump is located virtually in the center of this island and therefore affects the air quality of all residents of the island. Depending on which way the wind blows, You may smell it on the Eastern Road or Carmichael Road, in South Beach or Cable Beach, in Blair or Gambier, in Nassau Harbor or in Coral Harbor. Being in the center of the island, and given that the improper treatment of waste creates an unlimited supply of food, the dump has been the epicenter from which populations of rats, flies, roaches, and other vermin have been exploding. These all create the ideal preconditions for deadly epidemics. Bluntly put, we Bahamians are damn nasty to have our garbage piled up sky high in the middle of our yard, harboring vermin and stinking up the whole place with a smoky, rotten smell. The present dump site has, in fact, reached maximum capacity. It is surrounded by a rapidly growing city. It can't expand except into Harold Pond. But that is environmentally unthinkable. And at present, believe it or not, the dump is one of the highest points on the island, easily rivaling both Hawkins Hill and Gladstone Road. Successive governments from Pinling's time promised to manage the dump properly, but failed dismally to raise us up from the dangerously filthy, nasty level of living. Now, we have the out-to-lunch menace appointed Minister of Environment, Romuald Ferreira, talking about a long-term plan, but he has no short-term plan to stop fires in the upcoming dry season in March and April. Any fool can see that the first step is to stop all dumping on the site that has reached full capacity. If you think of it, and if you think of it sensibly, you can't do any kind of meaningful remediation and deconstruction of the site if at the same time you are dumping tons of garbage there daily. Any consultant or contractor who says that this can be done in planning is planning to rip off the country. And any politician who goes along with such a recommendation is a partner in the rip-off. Any consultant or contractor who says that this can be done is planning to rip off the country. And any politician who goes along with such a recommendation is a partner in the rip-off. So, the immediate short-term plan, which escapes Minnis and Ferreira, is to keep in place at the dump fire-fighting equipment and personnel to suppress any further flare-ups. At the same time, they must immediately select an alternative off-island site, one of the hundreds of keys in the southwest Bahamas, where there is no human settlement and very little traffic. Almost 9 months after the F&M came triumphantly to power, promising to fix the dump, that national health hazard burns brighter than the F&M torch over the nation. The dump fire is a clear sign to all that Ferreira has failed as minister responsible for the dump. He has been delinquent these past 8 months. If his failure is due to his not getting the support for his projects from his cabinet colleagues, then the honorable thing for him to do is resign, retire. If, on the other hand, he has, as we suspect, been just downright lazy and hopelessly unproductive, then ministers should advise the Governor General to dismiss him immediately, as he, by his negligence, has gravely compromised the health of tens of thousands of residents and visitors in New Providence. So, we now know how the fire started. Cleaning up Bain and Grandstown, taking inner city garbage to the city dump. We saw it when Hurricane Matthew came. Dr. Minnis and his whitelist Minister for the Environment, they are politically responsible for that mess on the dump, in which some of the most dangerous cancer-causing agent is being produced. And the solution is to stop dumping on the city dump and find an island, a key, where there is no population, and ship the garbage out. The F&M is going to kill us. They're going to poison us. Dioxin. You ever heard about that? Dioxin is always produced when dumps are on fire. It is perhaps the most deadliest cancer-causing agent known to man. So that is where we are. Well, folks, it's now time for me to talk sense with you, because last night, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas made an address. I suspect this is his first address for the year. I might be wrong. In which he has offered the people them of Grand Bahama an economic hope. And it is my prayer that what he promised the people them will be achieved, because we know that the economy of the Bahamas is doing damn bad. And we know that in the nation's second city, Freeport, Grand Bahama, the people them are catching hell. So let's look at what the media tells us that Dr. Minnis has to say. And I'm looking at the Tribune. The story is written by the Negro reporter Rashad Wells. And he says that the government is reviewing an application for the Grand Palm Beach property in West End, Grand Bahama, for a project that could result in more than $2 billion being spent over a 10-year period. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said during his national address last night. At the same time, he announced negotiations relating to the Grand Lucayan Resort, one of the island's most important resort. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens there. So you would have heard the news, and I'm going to be asking you extremely early, what do you think? You, the people of Grand Bahama, when you heard the Prime Minister's speech last night, what did he say that you believe gives you an economic hope, a great national expectation that your life will improve by virtue of this announced investment? Do you see any benefits? To the woman them on the island of Grand Bahama, where I am certain that you are equally and perhaps more then demand them. Catching hell. Did ministers give you hope? Do you see help and hope on the way? I want you to think about that because I want to hear from you so that we could talk sense. You say sense we have to now talk. Does the F&M really have a genuine expectation that what they are telling us will work? Remember, I heard about this company, Gen. Was Gen good for us the last time? That is important for us to discuss. Can we count on Gen? I don't know. I don't know. Can we count on Gen? My spiritual advisor has entered the studio and he's laughing. Goodness me, he's just throwing me off my game. Can we depend on Gen? I don't know. I really don't know. Oh man, this man is just distracting me. My spiritual advisor, for heaven's sake, stop laughing. Can we? They have offer us gin. I don't know. It almost sounds like gin and coconut water. I don't know. Is this the same gin that the BNP had offered us? I don't know. Ah, boy. It's just amazing. Folks, forgive me. My spiritual advisor is just laughing and has me also chuckling. So we have to look at what Dr. Minnis had to say to see whether or not the people of Grand Bahama. Now I realize that you have to keep hope alive. But I'm always suspicious of a project called Gen. And I don't know how this can turn out. It would appear to me that it might have been better if Dr. Minnis had offered us gin and coconut water. But there seems to be gin and a lot of jobs. I don't know. So we'll have to see. And we have to explore this whole speech that Dr. Minnis gave to us. I think perhaps when I return from the break, I should look a little further at what Dr. Minnis had to say. Because I really wish that this project will work. Has Minnis given us gin and job? Or is this gin and coconut water? Sound more like sky juice to me. But we shall see. The Prime Minister has spoken, and we'll see if he's pussyfooting and or can the F&M deliver. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back as we discuss gin.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. By Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV's cable channel 224 and Flow TV 112. Well, we're broadcasting live from either the University of the Bahamas Boulevard or Thompson Boulevard, and of course, it's here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, my spiritual advisor, and I'm always excited to see him. So I say, praise the Lord is here. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Monker. And how about you?
Well, I'm fine. And
Absolutely.
you have been right when you told me yesterday that the shifting winds from the city down.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was horrible.
It smoked out the entire Bahama property.
Well,
the entire property.
Menace and the F&M never was Bahama friendly.
Well, you see, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, right? But apparently, well,
They're not managing it.
right. Well, the dump is not being managed properly, and I think what has happened is one of the process that has been lacking at the landfill department is that there has to be a daily grinding of this waste area, right? And then after that, it should be fill should be placed on it, and it should be compacted. And that is not done. If it is done daily, Mr. Munker,
My
this
spiritual
problem
advisor,
will be avoided.
the city dump.
But the garbage
has
is left there to be
outgrown.
piled up and piled up and piled up on a daily basis.
It has to be closed down.
Well,
Remember what happened with Hurricane Matthew. As a result of that major cleanup effort, fire break out. City dump, no fire. Menace announced that there will be a massive cleanup of the inner city. They took the rubbish to the outer city. Fire break out.
okay.
That dump must be closed down and no more garbage taken there.
But you still have to fix the problem.
Listen to me. You start to fix it by shutting it down. And we
then what's next?
identify another key, one of the keys to the southwest part of New Providence.
Okay.
And we began to take the garbage to an
another
island.
site.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is the problem.
But how do you deal with the situation now? As
There
it is?
was no fire until Menace and the F&M.
Oh man.
My spiritual
amazing,
advisor,
man.
what are the facts? Were there any fires before the commencement of the inner city cleanup? Yes or no?
No. This is the first one since
That's my point.
it's been a while.
And I'm saying that the last one was as a result
Of the hurricane
Matthew
cleanup.
hurricane cleanup. These are scientific facts.
Okay.
So the dump has to be closed down. Simple as that. No more garbage is taken there. And instead, Menace will send the rubbish to an island just off to the southwest, uninhabited and no traffic at all. You solve the problem like that. Because with this city dump, it is going to destroy Bahama.
Okay, so why we don't contact the Minister for the Environment and find out what are his immediate plans?
He has none.
Well, Mr. Monkey, you have a suggestion, right? In all fairness, we got to live in this country together. So if bright minds are thinking about positive things to help solve problems, then let's contact him and say, listen, Minister...
Contact who?
Romel Farrow.
Ramalt is not in charge.
Here's what I think may be a good idea. As a matter of fact, I believe they may be giving that job to a company to manage, eh?
Listen.
A company's going to be given that job to manage that landfill?
It must be closed down. It's in the center
Okay, so
of the island.
So
it is poisoning the people of Jubilee Gardens Dam. It is poisoning McKinney Drive.
wherever the smoke goes, Mr. Monco,
And we know,
wherever the smoke goes, it's a problem.
therefore, the solution, my spiritual advisor, is to close the dump. And in the meantime,
either that or manage it properly, Mr. Monco.
and in the meantime, you have to close it down. But in the meantime, you maintain an occupation force of fire personnel and a bunch of water.
Station there at the landfill.
Yes. But it has to be closed down because it is
okay.
giving off dioxin. And the people then, we are going to die of all kind of respiratory illness. And one of the major toxic gas that is being produced and emanated throughout the entire island is dioxin. So y'all wouldn't know what caused the breast cancer. Y'all wouldn't know what caused the prostate cancer. And y'all wouldn't know what caused the other respiratory illness. But I tell you, it's Menace and the F&M. They wake up the fire. There ain't been no fire there in a long time. 9 months later, after the F&M comes to power, it announced that it would be moving rubbish from the inner city to the outer city. Something is wrong. Let's close the dump down and send the defense force to make sure that nobody could enter the dump. That's the solution, my spiritual advisor. Okay?
That's short term. Now, let's think long term now.
Long term is closing the dam down
Wow.
and hauling the waste. Listen, the
That's-
island is densely populated, my spiritual advisor.
That's another budget debate, Mr.
And
Manka.
the dump
It's another budget
is
debate.
in this. So what do you prefer? Let them go debate, but close the thing down. All right? Let's close it down. It's in the middle of the island. It is in the middle of the cradle of our civilization.
And then recently, too, we've had some weather patterns that may have contributed a lot of winds, you know, a lot
My
of winds.
spiritual
Mr.
advisor,
Manka.
the F&M woke up
along
the
with
fire.
the gases and the combustion and all that is going on. Yes, I mean,
My spiritual advisor, there has been no fire since Matthew.
but we've had a lot of winds.
You heard me?
I understand
Stop
that.
finding excuses.
I'm not finding excuses. It's a reality about what is on the dump.
Goodness of mercy, it needs to
A
be
lot of
closed.
gases is
I
brewing
don't give
under
a
that.
penny. What kind of gases there? Minutes them going on the dump and cause
All
this
right,
problem.
so now we're going to try and correct it now.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Fire fighting personnel station, close the dump down and haul it to an island to the southwest. Simple as that. How does that sound, my spiritual advisor?
Whatever it takes to correct the problem, whatever it
But
takes.
they have no ideas. Roaming got no idea. Menacing got no idea.
Why don't you
Okay?
Why don't you read the Minister for the Environment statement in the tabloids about his plans to deal with the problem, Mr. Manka, rather than saying that he doesn't have any idea. He did make a statement on it, right? He did make a statement.
My spiritual advisor, you would recall that on Friday, as we discussed, the Negro man from Grand Bahama, who was convicted of having in his possession lots of big guns and plenty bullets. I warned young people on Friday. I said to them, listen, if you got a gun, either find a way to turn it over to the police and or throw it in the ocean. I told you that the United States government knows. And I told you that they will be cooperating with the police. You may want to know, how did I know that? Well, God told me. That's how I knew. As I spoke to you on Friday, I told you of my gift of seeing and hearing things. And I told you all, and you all didn't listen to me. Stop being in possession of unlawful weapons. Stop it. Stop bringing guns into this country. Stop bringing bullets into this country. Or y'all going to jail for a long time. You know, better stop it. You can't say I warn you. So we now have a new opportunity to send it to the police. I'm going to make a suggestion. There are some men in the society who I don't believe that the police will arrest. So if you have any unlawful weapons and you live in the southern part of the island, go to Bishop Simeon Hall Church. Carry the gun there. Just drop it off to the church. You ain't got to let Bishop see you. Now, if Sister Woman is there, you can leave it with her. All right? Those of you who live in the southern part, those of you who live in central New Providence, I'm going to say that you take it to the Lord Bishop of the Anglican Church, Bishop Lige Bird. Just drop it off there. Because the authorities now have the international assistance. Remember, the Americans was not helping us with these guns. Not helping us. All we asked them. But it appears that there is a commander-in-chief of the United States who is fully cooperating. President Trump. Check the previous presidents. When we complain to them, we hear a little sip-sip, talking about the Americans' right to bear arms. Not here in the Bahamas, you know, but in the U.S. But we're saying that under President Donald Trump, those people who are living in southwestern Bahamas who saw the military style operation. All right? And is there more fire taking place? Okay. Okay, well, bring it up. And if fire is going on, my spiritual advisor.
What's happening?
But I'm just asking. My producer speaks to me. I just wanted to know if there were more fire. Other than that, we have to get back in the water.
What's the breaking news?
Just relax. I don't want to break it down. That's how the fire look and the smoke. All right? It looks F&M-ish.
But Mr. Monica, don't do that, man. Here it is. We have a
Goodness
problem
of
here
mercy.
on this island that's affecting all Bahamians, right? The
Who's
government,
that? Who caused this?
I think nature.
My spiritual advisor listened
Yeah,
to the
nature.
scientific evidence.
It's nature.
We had no fire since
Okay.
Matthew.
So what does that mean?
It meant that doing Matthew, that major cleanup, taking all those things to the dam, started the fire dam. Minutes announced that the inner city, Bainstown and Grandstown, they're going to do a massive cleanup. They took the stuff there.
And that is what caused the fire.
Yes, that is what caused the fire.
Well, you're the only one that came up with that so far, so.
I'm the only one who knows what's going on. I'm investigating. And I'm calling on ministers, stop dumping things there. That place has outgrown. That hill is higher than Hawkins Hill. You hear me?
I don't think so.
I know you don't think so. Right? But you take it from me. All right? And so, look at it. You could see it is a smoky...
It does appear as if the smoke is coming from the refuse that's on top of the landfill.
Well, you
So
see?
whatever's been dumped there is just the problem.
Listen to me.
That's what it appears.
My
It looks like
spiritual
that to me.
advisors, that is what it is. You think I'm going to come here and mislead the people?
Okay.
I'm telling you that the F&M did Dr. Minnis' office, the office of the Prime Minister, did not properly plan this cleanup. I'm telling you. All right? That's what caused it.
Okay.
All right? Under the PLP, when they were cleaning up with Matthew, that triggered the fire. It was okay to say the PLP caused it. But by grab, now that I have the evidence that Minnis and the F&M has caused a combustion that is more smokier than the F&M torch, got all the trappings of incompetency. It has to be closed down, or they can mess up tourism. When I work at Bahama on Saturday and Sunday, the atmosphere was so great. And the tourists them was so happy that they give Bahama an A+. And I'm suspicious of the F&M because the F&M don't support Bahama.
Is there any way that drone can get a closer view?
The drone?
Yeah.
I don't know if Sebastian can send it out. Listen, you think we can get Sebastian to send
Is
the
there any
drone
way
out?
that drone can get a closer look?
They'll fly closer. Fly closer. Man, this is powerful. Y'all wait until we start news here. All right? Y'all gonna see things that y'all have never seen.
Yeah, because
here.
I mean, it does seem as if the smoke is coming from whatever it is that's dumped on the perimeter of the
you owe me an
landfill.
apology now.
Well, Mr. Monica, can you be that smart, though?
My spiritual advisor. Do you not know that I'm a praying man? And God
This is
has given
interesting,
me
though.
the gift.
So, listen, is
Look at it.
it still smoking now as we speak?
Laszlo.
Is that live?
Yeah, this live. Laszlo, go into the
Well,
smoke.
no.
Hold on a second. Go into the smoke and see if any of my people are caught up in the smoke.
No, let's be professional about
What
this.
do you mean
now,
being
Mr. Monica.
professional? I want him to go up in the smoke.
Yeah, but let's not make a mockery of this. This is
It is a mockery.
it's a national disaster, Mr.
Yeah,
Monica.
it's a national disaster created by the office of the Prime Minister because ministers did not think
Yes,
it out.
but stop being emotional, man. I
My
mean,
spiritual advisor, if you're being poisoned every day by dioxin,
yes, it is a problem.
huh?
All right.
You don't want me to be emotional? Huh? Goodness of mercy. The F&M did not thoroughly Think it out. Don't forget now, this administration does not have a good record for thinking out things clearly. And look at that. All that smoke, all them nice tourists Bahama got.
Yeah,
and look what the F&M do.
That was very disappointing.
You hear me?
I felt for the tourists yesterday, though.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Because the cab drivers can tell the country that we worked on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the tourists them were very happy with Bahama. I interviewed the tourists. Not an American entered the taxi I was driving, and I didn't put touristic question about Bahama. And look how the F&M pay them by creating that fire, talking about inner city cleaning. Minister to talk with me. Don't mind I'm mad with you, no Prime Minister. I would have said to you, listen, that garbage from Bain-Song and Grand Sound, don't put it there. Let's send it to another island. How you can expect Romney to solve the problem? The last confusion that Romney created was when he went up in Marathon and found gas in the water. All right? And as soon as the F&M came to power, Romney can't find no more gas in the water. It was just one major conspiracy to get rid of Jerome Fitzgerald.
But you know what is interesting, though, Mr. Mon, because we have other sections of the island where there's a lot of trash and refuse sitting right now, you know. And apparently there's no fire, though. So how do you explain that?
My spiritual advisor, just don't tell the F&M where it is.
Oh, man. Wow.
You sit back.
Wow.
Listen, pilot, go back to the city dump and see how things used to look.
Yeah, there's a lot of refuse sitting in two other portions of the island right now.
Yeah.
A lot of it. But apparently there's no fire.
What?
So then it begs the question, why is it at the city dump?
I just told you. We know that that place, right, has reached its maximum capacity.
Okay.
All right? And having reached the capacity, Laszlo, see if you could go to the south part of the fire, near or the southwestern, so I could see Jubilee Gardens if it's possible. All right? Okay.
Okay. All right.
So what is going to happen here is the poor people of Jubilee Gardens.
Yeah, so that's the north side.
But the good news for the people of Jubilee Garden is all of us will die from it because Minis ain't got no plan to manage it. And I'm going to tell it to them how to solve the problem. You close the dump down. Let me say it one more time. Stop taking refuge there. Close it down. Just close it down. And now get some barge and barge it off the island and you will solve the problem. All right? Anyone who tells you that they could manage that, they're trying to rip off the country. Y'all think I'm an F&M. Now the majority of the F&M may be stupid, but I ain't stupid. It's a rip-off. All right? And I'm suspicious that this fire has been created to harm Bahama. Because the F&M never believe in Bahama. Don't forget that. All right? Now we got the fire. Bahama got all them tourists them. All them tourists them. Now look what the F&M do. Talking about they cleaning up the inner city. Ain't sit down. Ain't think it out. Ain't remember that the last fire was caused when they did the cleanup after Hurricane Matthew. I mean, it's just enough to go to the city dump and curse and carry on. Oh boy, I don't know what I can do with these Negro people who run this country. Say y'all in charge of the country and can't manage a dump. Goodness me. Oh, my spiritual advisor, what are we going to do?
Let's leave it to the government. The government.
How you mean leave it to the government? It's the government who caused the fire.
But they're going to correct it, Mr. Monka.
You don't.
We have a government in power who's competent of dealing with national issues. All right.
Really?
We have a situation to
Give
dump,
me one
and
national issue
they will
that
correct
the
it.
F&M had
They will correct it.
that they were able to correct.
They will correct it. All right. We have a problem in Freeport. The economy of Freeport is pretty much mashed up. All right. So now the government has come with a plan now, where West End and that former Ginn company, we're going to see some development in that area over the next 9 to 10 years, Mr. Monica. So give the government time and they'll get it right, Mr. Monica. I think the reality is that a lot of people just expect a miracle, Mr. Monica. The government met some challenges when they came into power, you know.
Listen,
They met some challenges, so
when the F&M came
you have to give
power,
them some time to deal. It's been, 8 months now? January, 8 months.
When the F&M came to power, there was no fire.
May. Is that May of
Do you agree?
2017? Yeah.
Right? When the F&M won election, May, right? June.
2017.
Was there fire in June? No.
No.
July. Say no fire.
No.
August. Say no fire.
No.
September. No fire. October. No fire. After October comes what?
November.
Was there fire? No. December. No fire.
Fire in January, though.
Early January, no fire. Menace prematurely announced that he was going into the inner city to clean up Bainstown and Grantstown, took the stuff there, and boom,
Fire.
fire.
We got to check your theory out, though.
You just confirmed it. You said you can see from my spiritual
Mr.
advisor.
Monica, I don't want to be wrong on this one. You understand me?
You're always wrong.
I want to be wrong on this
Stop.
one, so.
You must understand what is taking place here. All right? I can see things.
We've always had a problem with dump, though. It's always
Let's
that
stop
problem.
finding excuses.
I'm not finding excuses. It's just reality. That
The-
landfill problem is all. That landfill has always had issues.
caused this fire. I mean, listen. Tell Laszlo go back up in the sky, so we can see one more time, so I could show the spiritual advisor. He's recharging the drone. Well, Sabat, how much drone Sabat Sim got? Man, don't talk no nonsense, man.
What do you say?
ILTV studio is supposed to have more than one drone. I need a drone. Oh boy, Sabats, you mean to tell me? Oh, camera one. This must be camera one here. I want the drone, man. My spiritual advisor, the F&M, is responsible. They have to close the dump down. As of this minute, no more dumping there. And just put it on a badge and take it to one of the keys. Nobody lives there, and help to save our lives. They're causing the woman them to have breast cancer. I believe that in addition to keeping Sweetheart, the city dump might also be contributing to prostate cancer. It's all kind of cancer, my spiritual advisor. This F&M, led by doctor. Can you imagine that? Minister's a whole doctor. And don't seem to realize that he is destroying tourism. But Lord, it is my hope and prayer that wisdom will come. You, Laszlo, you smoking? Okay, Laszlo is smoking. You better don't go back up there near that fire, because you may end up, with asthmatic attack. You know Ras who comes here? Well, my brother, he was living about 600 feet from the dump. And one night, that fire erupted and Ras could not breathe. Thank God, the PLP had an ambulance that was waking. They got there in time, hooked Ras up to the oxygen. And Ras tell me every time he see that ambulance and the ambulance attendant them, he don't know what to say to them, because they save his life. Therefore, them going to kill us out, man. Goodness of mercy. What we can do? Close the dump down, Menace. Close the dump down. Don't put no more garbage there. And let's badge it out. Badge it off the island. Lord, save us from an F&M government that is not thinking out their strategy. Let's close the dump. Let's close the dump. Let's close the dump down. before we all poison and die out. This is Freedom March. We'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. We heard the reports, and the press has given us an accounting of a military-style operation that U.S. police and the local police took part in Southwest Bahamas on Monday morning. And then, of course, unofficially, the streets has its own accounting. We're hearing all kinds of things. And I've decided that the things that I'm hearing, I will tell you that I'm hearing. We're hearing that who works on a major resort on Paradise Island might have shared the credit card number of American citizens. And apparently she passed it on to a number of Negro citizens of the Bahamas. And apparently they did a lot of shopping. That's one talk. And as they shop, they spend the American people them credit card money. And so it is being suggested. That is one of the reasons why such a powerful raid took place. That's one of the things we're hearing. But the police gives us in the newspaper an accounting. My spiritual advisor will read that accounting because there are many of you who do not have access to newspaper. But you will read my spiritual advisor after I would have accepted this phone call. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
A blessing today, Mr. Monk, spiritual advice. How are you today?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, feeling great. Mr. Monk, I know you're talking about the safety and health of citizens concerned down, but I'd just like to send a shout out to my brother, my friend Prince Blyden. Today is his birthday.
Prince Blyden.
Yes, he's a part of Bahamas National Youth Choir.
Okay.
And I just want to send him a shout out from his boy Shantez at UB.
Okay.
So
well, I thank you. The Blydens have always been special friends of mine. So
Really?
Prince Blyden, of course. Yeah, I'm 61. They hail from one of the West Indies. I know all of them. Anyway, Prince Blyden, happy birthday from your boy Shantez and the University of the Bahamas. Okay, Shantez, take it care. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, good afternoon,
Yes.
Mr. Monker.
Yes, ma'am.
You say you're F&M, but why are you crying on the F&Ms like that? You
When-
should not have to cry the F&M star.
No, when you say
After
cry
all,
them down.
give them a year or two. A baby doesn't walk when they're 8 months. Give them a year and see what they'll do. Thank you.
Okay, my dear, but I want you to know that Dr. Menace is not a baby. He ain't no baby. He's a full-grown man, and they mismanaged the dump.
Yeah, but the baby would be representation of the
My
government.
spiritual advisor,
The baby represents
Menace-
the government, not Dr. Menace, Mr. Monk.
Menace was in government before.
Yeah, but
You didn't hear when Hubert Ingram criticized him?
yeah,
Brent,
do it right though.
and
The baby don't mean Dr. Menace.
My brother, we're not going to use that kind of euphemism. Menace is a full-grown man who ought to know better that the city dump, right, was already overcrowded. They need to close it down now or they can kill us out. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, Mr. Monica, how are you?
Listen,
And the spiritual advisor.
Hi, how you doing?
Mr. Monica, you continue
yes,
doing what you're doing. You know, you're balanced. And sometimes you have to speak out. Because
This
I
is true.
remember, it's so amazing now. Because I remember when the Progressive River Party came in 2012, the next day they was being blamed.
yeah.
The next day.
Yeah, in fact,
Now, F&M's are holding on, giving them a year, giving them 2 years.
no, I'm not giving them.
No, I'm saying F&M's
I know.
are calling.
I's
saying
F&M,
that.
and I have to criticize my
You
party.
know,
Yeah,
the next day they were criticized.
yeah.
Okay.
You take good care. And in support of what you said, I just run into an F&M woman, and she was cursing out the PLP. So I said, well, the PLP is in charge. She said, listen, my husband is a PLP. That's what the F&M woman said to me. So I said, well, what that have to do with Philip Brave Davis and the PLP? She said, my husband is the PLP. He's a no good man. He's keeping sweetheart.
Oh, wow.
That's what she said to me. So I said, well,
Wow.
we can break that up now. You tell him I say, if he doesn't stop, his prostate can stop working.
Oh, Lord.
So don't talk. They even blaming the PLP
man.
husband now. All right? Yeah. So,
that is a sad state of affair.
Yeah.
You want me to read this?
Yeah, give us the crime report. Let's see.
Because
Because I told them on Thursday that the
pages
U.S.
you want me to
government was working with the police. I told you all that on Friday. And I know you all wanted to know. God told me. Go ahead.
Police arrested about 30 people morning operation in southwest New Providence yesterday. Assistant Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said the operation, which some call terrifying, took many area residents by surprise. Police representatives from Operation Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, OPAT, and a tactical unit from the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, spread teams and resources across the sky and streets of several communities in that southern area. The operation netted scores of suspects who police say are the center of a major firearm and drug ring. During the operation, OPAT helicopters hovered over homes for nearly 2 hours, directing searchlights to the ground while officers swept through communities acting on intelligence. Officers were able to recover stolen property. A number of these two vehicles believed to be stolen in the United States and transported to the Bahamas. Police said those taken into custody were targeted by officers in a wider operation centered on firearms and illicit narcotics. Police also took several women into custody for questioning in relation to yesterday's operation. What happened here this morning, which was Monday, it was an intelligence-led operation which respect to firearms and drugs. Assistant Commissioner of Police Fernandez said, as we indicated, there's a number of firearms out there on our streets and getting in the hands of criminals, resulting in a number of shootings and eventually people are killed. And where there's firearms, drugs are not far. There was an area we had zoned in the Allen Drive and some other areas we had targeted and a number of other targets in the general area. He continued, and based on our intelligence, we were able to arrest between 25 to 30 young men who we want to see for questioning in reference to firearms. Admitting the operation was out of the ordinary for local efforts, Assistant Commissioner of Police Fernanda did offer an apology to residents who may have been startled by the move, but insisted the operation was in line with what had been promised by Police Commissioner Anthony Ferguson. Reflecting on crime statistics shared early this month, ACP Fernandez said law enforcement officials are resolved in their goal of ridding communities of the handful of prolific offenders who continue to offend. The commissioner never indicated when the timing of this operation. The commissioner never indicated when and the timing of this operation, and this is just a series of operations that you and the Bahamian people will see, according to the Assistant Commissioner of Police. He added Bahamians are fed up with the levels of crime in the country and are applauding the efforts being taken by the police force.
Okay, my spiritual advisor.
That's it, eh?
I want you to hold on to the point where he says that the commissioner said something about this kind of operation. Go back to that. Let me take this call because I don't remember the commissioner of police ever saying that. So we have to look at that, okay? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello.
My love, what's on your mind?
Hello, Mr. Moncur.
Yes, ma'am.
and my spiritual advisor,
Hi, how you doing?
Mr. Moncur.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say to your spiritual advisor, when you getting a point across, I watch him Friday. He comes on and make you look small. But what I want to say, he should wait until the show is over, then you all could talk it out, because it doesn't look good. You know, like you don't know what you're saying. And
Or
I might
he
as well
could
tell you,
wait
Mr. Moncur.
until I put my point. I don't mind him answering me on the show, but at least allow me to put my point first. And then, of course, my spiritual advisor, being my spiritual advisor, could comment. But I got your point, okay?
Yes, we have you, caller. We have you, okay?
I thank you, my
Okay,
love.
okay.
You do well.
Yes, all
Take
right.
care.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
all
much.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yes. Hello,
Yes,
Mr. Monker.
so,
Yes, I have a matter that is personal. I don't want to talk about it on the air, but if I can get a number to reach you after the show,
Okay.
I really would like for you to see if you can assist me, please.
all right, my number's 434
434
57
5760.
60.
That's
Yeah.
434 560
434 57
5760.
And listen, call me about 6:30.
630.
And when you call me, and if I don't answer, you call right back, because the phone sometime don't ring.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, sir.
You do well.
All right, you too.
Okay? Go to that point
Where it
where
says the commissioner never indicated when and also the timing of this operation, and this is just a series of operations that you and the Bahamian people will see. This is what Clayton Fernandez is saying. That's the part there.
no, just ahead of that, I got the impression that you had read that Assistant Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda had suggested that the Commissioner of Police had indicated this kind of
Oh,
operation.
no. I don't think that's in here.
So
I can't see.
okay then, let's forget it then.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, we now know that a military type operation took place. There were many.
Oh, sorry. Admitting the operation.
I want you to mark that. My spiritual advisor, mark it. Go ahead.
Admitting the operation was out of the ordinary for local efforts. Assistant Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda did offer an apology to residents who may have been startled by the move, but insisted the operation was in line with what had been promised by Police Commissioner Anthony Ferguson.
To the best of my knowledge, my spiritual advisor, when the Commissioner of Police, Anthony Ferguson,
Was appointed?
held his press conference, I do not recall the press reporting him saying this. In fact, it would appear, from my reading, that Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson advised the press that he could not either disclose his strategy because he was awaiting for the Minister of National Security to first review it.
Oh,
And then,
okay,
of course, the
okay.
Minister of National Security, when questioned, said that he had received a draft of the Commissioner Fighting Strategy, and National Security Minister Marvin Dames suggested that he was now doing some correction of the proposal.
Okay.
I'm only saying,
Okay.
I don't recall that.
Okay.
All
Well,
right. Nevertheless,
But the assistant
If-
commissioner says it was in line with what the commissioner promised.
and I'm
He
saying
works
to
very
you,
close with the commissioner.
no. Don't say what the Commissioner of Police promised. To say that is to suggest that there was a public position.
Oh.
That is the point I'm making.
Oh, okay.
Now, if he and the Commissioner are quietly discussing the
Okay,
strategy,
that's a different
that's a
thing.
different
Okay,
thing.
I understand that.
And
Okay,
of course,
okay.
perhaps this was a strategy that the public ought not have known about it.
Okay.
This seems to be what I would call the Donald Trump strategy. You don't let the enemy knows when you're about
Yeah.
to carry out military action.
You take them like a thief in the night.
Yeah.
By surprise.
So
Yeah, okay.
it's powerful. And let's hope that the young people will understand that the eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. And if you don't know what the eagle is, it's the American dam. All right? So that's what's going on there. Did you see the newspaper this morning? Apparently, Attorney General Carl Bettel was on the talk show with the former minister, Zhivago Lang. In fact, Zhivago had 4 Negro ministers on his show one time.
Quadruple.
Man, that must be powerful. Can you imagine that you being a former minister and you can get 4 Negro ministers on your show one time?
Yeah, that's pretty easy to
The
do.
first Negro minister was Carl Bettel. Then there was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Darren Cash. Then there was the Minister,
Darren Cash?
Darren
Henfield.
Henfield. Well, you know, when I think about Darren, I think about Darren Cash. I think
Okay.
of my spiritual advisor, Darren Henfield. And then there was Rummy Ferreira, who can't keep the city down from catching a fire. So there were 4 of them. But what is interesting is what Carl Bettel had to say on perhaps his personal view on the legalization and or decriminalization of marijuana. I cannot believe that Carl Bettel could have been educated in London and could be talking the nonsense that I'm about to read to you. It's just horrible. Attorney General Carl Bettel said he will not support the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana in the Bahamas as long as it is criminalized by the U.S. federal government. You heard that? Here is the sovereign Attorney General of the sovereign Commonwealth of the Bahamas who tells the country, as long as the federal government say marijuana is illegal in the United States, he won't support the legalization in the Bahamas. But once the Americans say you could smoke dope and it's legal, Carl will now support it here in the Bahamas. Gateway drugs. Marijuana is a gateway drugs. All right? You see the thinking of this Negro man? And I'm disappointed. Because although Carl is Negro, Carl got curly hair. Carl got nice color. Carl was London trained and educated. And the British apparently did a bad job with him because he does not think as a sovereign citizen. He doesn't. All right? But as long as it's illegal in the federal government of the United States, he ain't gonna support it. Well, Carl, it is my hope and prayer that President Trump will always keep dope illegal in the United States. Because I'm tired of my generation my generation, they were smoking dope all their life. They smoked dope in junior high school. They smoked dope in high school. They smoked dope and they smoked dope. And there's one major conspiracy by these group of no good politicians to legalize marijuana in this country. Lord, keep President Trump in charge of the federal government so dope wouldn't be legal in the Bahamas, because Carl will support it once the Americans do it. Listen to what Carl says. The administration does not yet have an official position on it, said Bettel, while on Guardian Radio talk show Political Review with host Quincy Parker on Sunday. What you mean that the FNM ain't got no position? Doesn't Dr. Minister know, as a doctor, that marijuana is not good for the population? He doesn't know it. He can't come to a decision that we want marijuana to remain unlawful. Goodness of mercy. I'll come back to it after I take this call. Carl, I'm disappointed in you. I can't believe a man with curly hair, nice color, that you could be talking all this nonsense, having been to London London trained, London educated, a London trained attorney. You're letting London down. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Answer me. Are you there?
Yeah, the person is right there.
But he's not answering. Hello? It is a matter. This is what Carl is saying. It is a matter that no doubt we will focus on. I'll give you my view on it. Politician ain't supposed to give no personal view, Carl. You never had a good personal view. Give us the position of the government of the Bahamas. But let's look at Carl's personal view. And this is what he says. We are very smart people. We don't take foolish risks. We went through a terrible period in the 1980s when we were besmirched by endemic drug trafficking. All drugs, including marijuana, remain criminalized, fully criminalized under federal United States law. We are on their border. What kind of idiot is this? You are in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And we're talking about what is the proposed policy of the Bahamas government. The man is telling me about federal law. I can understand if I was on my way to the United States and he decide he want to advise me about federal law. How does federal law got anything to do with it? Carl, when y'all are going stupid, keep quiet. When y'all are going stupid, keep quiet. Why do you think I'm always quiet? Because I'm afraid I could easily go stupid. And you're going stupid, man. You can't be an intellectual. Huh? Goodness have mercy. It can't be the city dump. I believe the smoke from the city dump has entered your nostril. Because this is nonsense. All right? Nonsense. Listen to what this man say. Listen to what the man say. All drugs, including marijuana, remain criminalized, fully criminalized under federal United States law, and we are on their border. Jamaica doesn't have the luxury of being on their border. Neither does anywhere else in CARICOM. So why y'all allow those dope smoking people from the Caribbean to come here to talk about all this folly? Huh? If you're concerned about the United States border, and if you are aware that CARICOM does not have the luxury, why you entertain them? Huh? Why you entertain them? The Bahamas is on their border. My view is that we need to decriminalize the way we treat young men who are first-time offenders, fellas who get in little problems. We can do that administratively, but in terms of changing the law, it will not have my support at this point in time. When federal law changes, we could look at that. Lord, have mercy on these undercover Negro. Carl, what nonsense are you talking? We're asking you, as a citizen who grew up in the Bahamas, saw the effects of all kind of dope, the gateway drugs, all the cocaine, and you can't stand and say no to drugs? Carl, you're a picky teeth Montobi. You're nothing but a frying pan. You are a weak attorney general. Huh? Weak attorney general. It's disgraceful. A very disgraceful position that you're talking about federal law. What federal law? We in the Bahamas must say no to drugs. We must tell our young people to stop smoking dope. Simple as that. Don't tell me when the Americans changed their law, you can now support smoking dope. No wonder. No wonder. I better be careful. Carl, don't lock me up, because I can say things. All right? It's just amazing. The nonsense that educated. This is an educated man. And the worst part about it is Carl got curly hair. Carl got color. Carl went to London on his London train. But look at the nonsense he's talking about federal law. Anyway, Carl, we're going to get rid of you in a democratic manner. We're taking you to the UN with your lying self. This is Freedom March.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom News. Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Papa Bondier, m'a content aujourd'hui à Jean-Ronnie, Jean-Charles, court déclaré FNM en ça pour mettre monsieur dans Haïti. Praise the Lord. The court has found the FNM guilty for deporting John Ronnie, John Charles. Find me the statement, my spiritual advisor, so that I could celebrate with my people, the Haitian people.
So you're not a Bahamian?
Give me this
What do
thing,
you mean by celebrate?
You know what the judge is to me? The judge.
Well,
let me tell you what the judge is to me.
That doesn't,
I'm going to tell you.
That has nothing to do with
His Lordship, Justice Hilton, his great-grandma and my great-grandma is sisters. You take that, the country is small. My family rule, all right? Folks, we have the judgment of the Supreme Court in the matter involving the young man, John Charles, who the FNM unlawfully arrested, detained, and persecuted. And they throw him out of the country without due process. Well, this is the people's time, notwithstanding that thousands of Bahamians of Haitian descent give Dr. Minnis and the FNM an opportunity. They had Frankie Campbell, and another fella all over Fox Hill in the Haitian community, telling the Haitian people all kind of things about Fred Mitchell. You hear me? All kind. They just waged one serious anti-PLP campaign. And then the Haitian took the bait. They supported the FNM. The next thing we know, they were betrayed. Betrayed, left, right, and center. Well, Fred Smith, the QC out of Grand Bahama, took the FNM to court. And a judge of the Supreme Court has ruled against the FNM. My spiritual advisor, find this.
Yeah, let me read this
judgment.
because this phone is going to be too technical.
No, I'm reading this one.
All right, okay.
No, I'm reading this
Go
one.
ahead.
Because
try to keep the light on.
I'll try to keep the light on. Let me see what it says. In an earth-shattering judgment, Justice Hilton declared the constitutional right of John Charles were breached and ordered the government to bring him back from Haiti, issue him official travel documents, and grant him the right to live and work in the Bahamas. The judge noted that as a person with a Bahamian birth certificate who was never convicted of any crime under the Immigration Act, John Charles should not have been detained and expelled from the country. The judge added that he was particularly troubled by the fact that John was deported without first being taken before a court in accordance with the Constitution and the Criminal Procedure Code. He ruled that John Ronnie's detention and deportation constitutes an egregious abuse of executive power for which no ordinary civil remedy could be considered remotely adequate. In other words, what the F&M did to John Ronnie, the court can't even contemplate what it could give him as compensation. I need not go any further. But if I had a Haitian drum, I would beat the drum and chant, Campe Bouquet, wap don me. Campe Bouquet, wap don me. I would say, beat the drum, Bookie. They are sleeping. So it's a great day in the country for thousands that the F&M and the PLP sent to Haiti. They could now come back home. Oh, I miss one Haitian girl named Madeline. They sent Madeline back. Look how Madeline could come back. Madeline, map kune, ouve TV, ILTV. Est-ce que vous connaissez, court la déclaré, ça c'est illégalement pour F&M government pour deport my people down. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Monica.
My love.
How you doing?
Listen, I'm celebrating. What's happening?
Yes, I'm one of the women down.
Oh, praise the Lord, praise the Lord.
I'm spiritual advisor.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Spiritual advisor.
Hey.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Monica.
My love.
I have two questions.
Go ahead.
Okay? Now, bear with me.
Yes, I shall.
The dump fire.
The dump fire.
The dump fire.
Yes.
Okay. You remember I want to know how much persons were sent to the hospital or to the clinics for respiratory problem or were put up in Bahama or Malia Hotel for respiratory problem. You remember the last fire?
Yes.
Under the PLP.
Yes.
Some were put up in the Malia Hotel.
Yes.
And it was crowded the clinics, so they say.
Yeah.
I would like to know what are they doing for these people, because I ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Or the person, are they living or are they dead in their house?
Well, I'm going to have to investigate. Perhaps this...
Because when it was the PLP time,
yeah,
everybody had everything to say about the PLP.
Yes, that is true.
You understand?
Yeah.
But now it's F&M time. Let me hear what they have to say.
Well, we have to listen, because, what time is it?
They say it's the people's time.
What time is it?
They say it's the people's time.
It is the people time for the F&M to smoke them out like mosquito. Yeah. Mosquito law.
Thank you.
You take it care. Anybody else on the phone? Listen, breaking news all over the Bahamas. The F&M plan has come to a full stop. These thousands of young Negro children born in the Bahamas of foreign descent, they have a right to citizenship and a court. And for the first time, I'm going to tell you my biological relationship to the Judge Hilton. His great-grandma and my great-grandma is sister. His grandma and my grandma are first cousin. His daddy and my daddy is second cousin. And me and him is third cousin. But we live apart. Now his father, I knew his father very well. His father and we talk family talk. The children, I don't really bother with them. But I've always knew that the Hiltons are my daddy, them family, all them Hiltons. So it's a great news that I'm Haitian, and as a descendant of Haiti, that, you know, I could feel comfortable that my great-grandma, her sister, great-grandson, has made a powerful judgment. Eleuthera, that's on the Eleuthera side. Tarpon Bay, Eleuthera. What a wonderful day. And what I'm going to do is, let me send a message to one of my Haitian boys. Tigasso, I'm coming. Get the Haitian drum. And we're going to celebrate, okay? I think I'm going to have me some Haitian food today, and we're going to celebrate. Because I told y'all, you only listen to me. I said, listen, the Haitian people, they're going to be here in the Bahamas with us until Jesus comes. I also told you that thousands of us are of Haitian descent. Don't mind you, ain't know. See my spiritual advisor? Gotta be of Haitian descent. All right? We have Haitian descent. It's a wonderful day. And the F&M is going to cost the country to lose millions of dollars. And you hear what the courts say? The courts say what the F&M did to John Ronnie. They can't come up with no civil remedy. What reward? What compensation? All right? I want y'all to treat the Haitians good. They are the new breed of Bahamians. They ain't going nowhere. And the good thing about the Haitian people is that we are everywhere. Don't mind the surname. Haitian. All right? Don't mind what surname you got. You might be Ferguson. You might be Moss. You might be Hannah. You might be a DeVoe. You might be a Cartwright. But listen to me. If you read the slave register, thousands of people who were slaves in Haiti came to the Bahamas and were strategically assimilated. They are our people. And so it's a great day, and I'm so excited that I have to send out a chant to the people of Haitian descent. My favorite chant whenever I'm happy. My favorite chant. Ti soiseau, kote ou poale, moi poale kai, fiet lalo koun mange ti moun. Si wale, lap mange ou tou, briko, kalo brick, briko, kalo brick, ti soiseau, oh ti soiseau, kote ou poale, moi-même poale kai, fiet lalo koun mange ti moun. Si wale, lap mange ou tou, briko, kalo brick. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good in yourself.
Oh, what's on your mind, comrade?
I didn't get the speech from the throne yesterday. What's the story on the sale of the Lucayan Hotel?
Dr. Minnis, we shouldn't call it the speech from the throne because only the Governor General can read speech from the throne. So we'll refer it as the Prime Minister's address, okay?
Okay, sir.
And let me see what he quickly had to say. The government is reviewing an application for the Grand Palm Beach Property Invest N for a project that could result in more than $2 billion being spent over a 10-year period. And at the same time, he announced negotiations relating to the Grand Lucaya Resort. One of the island's most important tourism projects are far from completed, but would be wrapped up this year. Menace said Grand Palm Beach Acquisition Limited has entered into a purchase and sale agreement to buy the large-scale resorts known as Gin Sumer. Gin on the Mer. Sumer. La Mer. Massive gin on the beach or on the sea. Noting that previous developer of the property went into foreclosure in 2008. Many said Grand Bahama Acquisition, not Grand Bahama, Grand Beach Acquisitions Limited will construct, repair, revitalize, develop, and operate 216 rooms in 3 hotels, a banquet facility, 116 branded hotel residents, 1,000 other residents, a hotel casino site, approximately 150,000 square feet of shops and restaurant, a spa and wellness retreat, 2 marinas, an 18-hole golf course, including driving range, an IFR-rated airport, a resort hospitality training academy, and an organic farm. Grand Palm Beach Acquisitions Limited intends to repair, revitalize, and develop the property to be known as Bahama Bay in 9 phases over 10-year period, with a projected expenditure of $2,560 million. Man, Minister can talk money. The application is now before the National Economic Council to approve in principle and to authorize the relevant government agencies to negotiate a heads of agreement on an expeditious basis. As for Grand Lucayan Resort, he said the transaction related to the acquisition and management of the resort is far from finished. The resort closed in October 2016 after Hurricane Matthew damaged the property, depriving the island of 59% of its room inventory and at least 1,000 jobs. Dr. Minnis' revelation that negotiations relating to the project are far from completed contrasts with the view he expressed in December after a letter of intent was signed between owners of the hotel Strip and the Toronto-based Wynn Group. He said at the time, that's Dr. Minnis, he expected discussions on the heads of agreement to be completed within the next month to 2 months. He also said he hoped the Strip could be reopened in early 2018. Although this transaction is far from completed, it would not be an exaggeration to say that we will have accomplished in a few months what was not done in a decade, Dr. Minnis said last night. This year, he said, we intend to complete the sale of the Grand Lucayan and Memories property. After they are reopened, the economy of Grand Bahama will improve significantly, including with a tremendous increase in employment and related businesses and economic opportunities. That's what Minnis say. Far from being completed, but these are desperate times, and the people of Grand Bahama need little hope. So you better pray that Minnis ain't pussyfooting, because this smells like Minnis is about to give away all kind of concession. Damn. You know, that's the excuse for the foreign investor. He comes in, he's more sophisticated, he knows the tricks of the trade, and then you have a Negro government who think after they have been elected that they are God's gift to the country and that they have the intellectual capacity to negotiate with these foreign people. And guess what they do? Successive government. They give them everything and fax up the country. That's what they do. So I hope Menace is smart enough this time to ensure that he has experts, all right, in this negotiation. Because, Menace is a gynecologist. And he specializes in the fixing of the human anatomy and delivery of baby. A good businessman, nevertheless, in that Pacific trade. But I have observed that the politicians, them, have not been good negotiators. We see it, I was riding taxi the other day, and when I look, a Negro man stood up in the middle of the road with a stop sign. And I had a shock of my life. Man, I thought I was in mainland China, as hundreds of Chinese march from the southern side to the northern side where they're doing the construction. They've just built the point. They're now cutting a marina in the harbor of Nassau, and there are no Bahamians working on the project. I say licky do mama, and I hope that the GIN project is not a project that will deprive construction workers of an opportunity to make a living. Other than that, I say, man, the hell with it. Why should we have these perspectives of big businesses coming into the country? We can't get a labor job. The Chinese are mean. They're mean. All that juicy job out there, the PLP couldn't get them to give us none. The F&M couldn't get them to give us none. Then the PLP came back and they couldn't get them to give us none. And then the F&M came back and it was left, right, and center. And I wonder sometime, what did they give to the PLP and the F&M in return? Because they have both demonstrated that they were not good negotiators. And I hope that Menace will get something tangible for the people of Grand Bahama them, so that many of them who are living here in Nassau could pack their journey bundles and go back home to good living. But these Negroes, they've not negotiated good on our behalf. They sit down with these smart people and they are out-negotiated. They give the country out. Every concession they give. And what we get? My God, you don't think I could tote sand? I could tote sand. I could pass block. I even could grab the hose and throw the water in the mortar. But we ain't get nothing. I don't understand it. I don't understand this thing called foreign investment. It's a waste of time. But Grand Bahama need help. My spiritual advisor.
You're going to get in trouble. You're not reading any text, Mr. Monica. You have so many people send you text.
Read text by spiritual advisor.
Good day, Mr. Monica. All you do is complain about the government. Why don't you give the government a chance? You can't expect them to do everything in 9 months. Don't comment on that. Good afternoon, Senator and Spiritual Advisor. Love 97 is hosting a town meeting on Marshall rate of 6:30 p.m. this evening. Speakers, Attorney General Carl Bettel, Donna Nichols, Sandra Dane Patterson, and several other prominent speakers.
Sandra is there.
Will you be attending?
Donna and Sandra? Donna? Goodness me, I could tolerate Sandra. Because I know Sandra is a Bahamian. But Donna, have mercy, Lord. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica and Spiritual Advisor. Why are you so bitter against the F&M? You want your senator post back, eh? Please give the F&M a break, Mr. Monica.
Okay, I'll give them a break.
Tell Mr. Monica to stop it, man. I have a lot of... Doesn't give you cancer. It helps stop cancer.
Having what?
Let's not get into that.
You stop it. Sweethearting is the 11th reason for cancer in the country. You stop keeping sweetheart.
Good evening, Mr. Monica. Minister and his worthless government said they had a plan for the city dump. He and his cabinet are clueless. And the young lady who said she is visiting Florida... Oh, okay. I understand that. Okay. Hi, Mr. Monica. What Dr. Menace was running on bit last night on TV for Freeport. No plans whatsoever. I'm so sorry for Freeport. He didn't say anything about Grand Lucaya. I thought the hotels are going to be open in the winter, but nothing has happened, Mr. Moncrief. What's going on with this government? Mr. Moncrief, you need to give Mr. Menace some credit, okay?
Okay.
You're just blasting the F&M.
I have to case them out.
And it's uncalled for.
I have to case them out.
Let's see here. Please ask the police helicopter.
Go ahead.
Please ask the police to put a helicopter over Slack Run BPL to find out why they can't do their work without hiring private contractors to do everything at high cost. Speaking about BPL, man, I need to make an appeal to anyone who works for the Bahamas Electricity Corporation that's listening to the show. They had an accident on Marshall Road over the weekend where a Honda Civic slammed into a utility pole, and the utility pole is in half. And BEC has not come to deal with that. One win, and we're going to have a huge
on
electrical
Sunday,
fire.
when you go to church, and
But I'm making an appeal
comes, when Hasty comes to
I'm
church,
making an appeal now.
catch him.
On Marshall Road.
What Hasty name? Brother Hasty, from my
That's
spiritual
Whitney.
advisor.
That's Whitney Hasty.
Whitney Hasty. You're nothing but a picky.
There was an accident on
Toby.
Marshall Road, and a Honda Civic slammed into a pole. The
And he
pole
ain't fixed it
snapped.
yet.
And I'm surprised that BEC has not come yet to deal with that, because they're going to have an electrical fire, just one wind, and that pole is going to fall with all those high tension lines
Well,
on it.
Whitney Hasty pussyfoot and show us he's just another Negro in charge, but he ain't doing nothing. Go fix the spiritual advisor lampole. Folks, tomorrow, if it is God's will, we'll talk on this issue. Take it care, be safe, and
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.